But I think it's a fun deck if we can get it to work, though I'm not sure we can. We're going to do some Nate Price hype. Are there any other token generators? Ninja, what up?
Yeah.
What up? I like the Path of Discovery here, so I'm not sure if we're going green-white with this or we're going... I'm not sure Pride of Conquerors and Path of Discovery work that well together. We could go Abzan, and then we can do Call to the Feast. But I'm not sure I want to go Abzan yet or not. Are there any other token generators in this game? Maverick Fane is kind of a token generator. Sky Marcher. I don't understand why it does this. I think this would be a good deck for a Dante's Vanguard. We probably want some Legions landings. Let's just read Pride of the Conquerors again. If you have the City's Blessing, you get +2/+2. So we do want to achieve City Blessing. Tender Shoot. I just got one of those off the wind, my first one the other day. That's a big top end, but it is pretty sweet. Can you imagine Tender Shoot Dried with Path of Discovery? Are you guys doing that? That seems baller. Wow. That's just a whole nother deck you got me thinking about now. Tender Shoot Dryad is quite tender, though. Every time I see that, you got to kill it fast. Oh, is that what Squire's Devotion does? This is pretty sweet, especially if we're playing Vanguard. It certainly isn't a cartouche of ambition, but it's if you can get it on your Vanguard, you kind of have an alternate win con besides just going wide. We can't really play the Radiant, like this is, because we're playing Snubhorn Century, we can't really play Radiant Destiny, but that's why this is the Pride of the Conquerors deck. So we don't need... We don't need to be playing Vamps in particular. They're just really the only ones that have token makers. I've lost to a Tender Shoot once, but I've also killed it plenty of times. Yeah, that's where I normally see it, in the black-green decks. I just want more token generation. Is there just no other token generation? Especially on the cheap. I can't think of any. Like, I'd like to not have to play Call to the Feast, but I don't know. And don't even say Thundering Spineback, or you'll get timed out. Legion Conquistador kind of refills your hand, but that's like a 3-drop, right? White Green Huatli. I might have packed one of those. And it certainly is. That's actually a pretty sweet win con, alternate win con for this deck, besides Pride of the Conquerors. Let's try to do it without the black. This looks pretty good. Doesn't look great, but it looks pretty good. 4 Pride of the Conquerors might be too much. Or we need some more 1-drops. The only green 1-drop I can think of is Old Growth Dryad, and that one is sketchy. I mean, we could just slam Branch Walkers. I don't like Imperial Lancer here. I saw Huatli. I faced a Huatli once, but he really had no creatures on board. Or he started with like 3, and then I started killing them all off. And then he just basically had a Huatli, which doesn't do much when you kill everything off. Which is a good reason, once again, to play Adonto Vanguard, because he is kind of harder to kill. You've never played Jace? I had someone copy Jace twice on me. I was playing my control deck. He was playing a control deck. He landed as Jace and then copied it 2 times. Ended up having 3 Jaces on board. If you guys want the duels experience in Arena, play with 3 Jaces. Because the Planeswalker activation is kind of slow. Kind of slow. I don't know. Maybe this deck is just great like this. Come on, guys. Give me something more. Give me something more. I want more. Encampment Keeper is too bad. I will not play Encampment Keeper, even though I've seen people do it. It's too bad for me. Priest of the Awakening Sun. Raptor Companion. Too bad. Skyblade. I don't think I like Skyblade. Tocatli Honor Guard. This card is growing on me quickly. You're disappointed, Entropy? Hammer Skull seems okay. I guess this screws our Path of Discovery thing, but actually Path of Discovery should get around to Tocatli, right? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores. Is that true or not, folks? Does Path of Discovery get around to Tocatli Honor Guard? This would be a sweet sideboard card for this deck. Let me do a little bit of bookkeeping while I wait for your responses on that one. What do we call this deck? I guess we'll just call it green-white tokens, as boring as that name is. I'm going to give this a healthy tier 2. You got to be pretty bad to be a tier 3 deck in my eyes. But doesn't Tecatli Honor Guard say creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger? The trigger is coming from an enchantment. But I guess it's an ability. It's not an ability. Enchantments don't have abilities. Boo, Shard. Yep. All right. Shard's got the answer. Ew. Also, gross Anointed Procession plus Jace. No, it looks like Shard says Tecatli Honor Guard shuts it down. That's sad. All right, let's look at some green cards here. Maybe we can get a little more help out of green. Not really, right? We pretty much know green. Good for Drover. Jungle Delver. Kumena's Speaker. I think these are too bad in our deck. Old Growth Dryad for the lulls. Yes, and I agree this deck will definitely get more help in the future. But we're trying to make it now. We're trying to live in the present. Everdrawn Champion. Famished Paladin? No. I packed 2 Temple Altasaurs in like the last day. Whatever that's worth. I don't know. Maybe we have to splash for that Call to the Feast. Maybe we have to go Abzan tokens. Hardy Veteran. Seems pretty bad. Guildgrove Stalker. Jadebearer wouldn't be terrible if it didn't say Merfolk. If it was just a +1/+1 counter, it would not be terrible. Jungleborn Pioneer, though, actually. That's, I think, what we're looking for. That is exactly what we're looking for. This card does get in there. Yep, California, we got there. Okay, how many cards we got? 34. And no removal. Still think we want the Baffling Ends because we want to attack early and it helps with Ascension. And maybe I go 2 Bindings. I don't think you have a lot of removal here. $39. Which means we get to play 21 lands, which in this format is fine. I think that's too high of a curve. I think Tendershoot or Huatli should win us the game. I like this. I like this deck just like this. I want to try it now. I wonder how many Pride of the Conquerors I have. You could probably trim one of these. You might also be able to trim a Path of Discovery or a Tendershoot. These might be a little ambitious. We do get Sunpetal Grove, which is awesome. What's the green-white one called? What's the green-white tap land? I mean, I think the point of these Pride of the Conquerors decks is that we don't play Anthem effects. We're supposed to win with a big attack from Pride of the Conquerors and not need anthems. It's not Timber Gorge. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe if I just do plain. No. What if I just do land? We'll find it there, won't we? We also have those Legion's landings. They'll give us tokens. What? Mm. Okay, I'll give you some in a second, all right? Give me 1 second. All right. Someone's hungry, folks, so let me write. Oh, what about... Okay. Okay. It's not showing up here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, back. Tranquil Expanse. That's the one. That is the one. Oops. This is not even going to show up for us. Please, please, game. All right, fine. Fine. We might not need... Maybe we can get away with just like 2 of these. Let's have 3 in for now. And planes. Oh, we need a lot of planes here. Seven, 21, 14. Do 9. 1, 2. And forest. Growing rights of Itlamok is what I was thinking about California when I got excited there for a second. It seems like pretty good for this deck, but I guess we don't really do anything with the mana. So maybe not. Because we saw those sweet 5-0 deck lists, and someone had this, but he had something to do. He had like Ballista. I like growing rights too, but I actually, the more I think about it, I don't think we have anything to do with the mana here. I mean, we could just play a couple spells on a turn. And plus a bunch of green mana doesn't help us very much. I don't quite like it here. What would be a good thing to dump all that mana into? I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits. I want it to fit. Trust me, guys. I really want it to fit, but I don't think it fits. We're at 60. I like this. This deck is fun. Fair enough. That's kind of a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas, California. I don't know. I would try this deck. I'm always looking for something new to try, so I think I only have one tender shoot, and I don't know if I have a Watley or not. I think I got one of them. And I don't know if I have Path of Discovery or not. Everything else should be no problem. It's on you, Shard. That's personal. That is personal. You know what? Let's just do